What's going on, traders and long-term investors in CCIV? My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel for another very important CCIV update video. So we're going to be looking at what did happen with the delayed vote, what exactly proposal number 2 is, and why I'm not concerned about this being delayed one additional day. Hopefully we should have this resolved and have information coming tomorrow, and I do think that is why CCIV stock did bounce back up, pretty much recovering all of its losses for the day, as well as we're going to go over the potential for a short squeeze as well as a gamma squeeze, show you guys my position for some of you guys that are new to this stock. But overall, we're just going to talk about everything you guys need to know. So with that being said, if you like this video, you want more videos like this, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and consider subscribing to the channel for more CCIV videos just like this. So getting into it, guys, first things first, let's just acknowledge the charts, and we are not bearish by any means. Yes, we have been pretty much consolidating. We've been sticking around this low level of about $22, in between $22 and $23.50, which is on the lower end of this range we have established, in between $22 on the low end and $30 on the high end. Now, I do think there's going to be a short squeeze once this is actually approved, and I do think the move that we did see today actually helps the short squeeze and gamma squeeze potential, just because you have to think about expectations. If this bad news comes out, then hedge funds, institutions, market makers, whoever they are, the big money, they might not expect this merger to go through anymore. But if you are knowledge on this situation, you can understand that the odds of this not going through are very, very slim. So I do think this is good for the overall short squeeze, like I said, because these expectations started to flip. And if you do see this actually come to life and the merger does happen, you could see a lot of buying going into the stock just due to that one factor. But as far as the 4-hour candlestick chart, the 200-day moving average is at $24.40. The 50-day moving average is slightly under at $24.10. So if we can break out past this $24.40 mark where our 200-day moving average is, that will be a great sign for a lot of trading algorithms, as well as day traders, FOMO buyers, and even just people that want to invest in the stock. I know a lot of you guys disagree with this, but I think a majority of hedge funds and institutions are actually waiting until the merger is done to invest in CCIV stock, because it becomes much less risky if the vote did not go through. Now, obviously, if the vote doesn't go through, then you're going to lose all your money down to $15 per share. So be fully aware of what you guys are investing in. But from the numbers that we did see today, this looks very good. So now we're going to switch to the lower text data. Remember, take this information with a grain of salt, but we have short interest change of positive 1.86%, return shares of 14.49 million, borrowed shares of 15.56 million. So that is a borrowed change of 1.07 million shares to the positive. Current short interest percentage of free float at 18.01%. Current shares that are sold short of 37.28 million. Now, how do we know shorts are not covering, guys? The actual short interest they are being reported is staying at about 18 to even 19%, but we are seeing a lot of return shares as well as borrowed shares. We are seeing more borrowed shares and return shares in the given day of trading volume we have in the stock. So that's how we know that shorts are actually not covering. When you only seen about 10 million, almost 11 million in volume for the day, but you're seeing 14 million and 15 million shares indicated as far as return and borrowed, this is not shares being covered. This is actually shares that are out on the free float on loan, which does currently stand at 27.74%, significantly higher than 18.01%. So essentially, hedge funds, institutions, whoever they are, that do plan to short the stock, usually they will take out these shares on loan. They have to pay interest on this, but they will wait for the perfect opportunity to sell these shares short. So I think you're looking at one of those situations, and that is really why you're seeing such a high volume for the return shares and the borrowed shares. Now, the days to cover is at 4.51, so it would take a long time for shorts to actually cover all of their shares, as well as the share utilization is at 99.80%. So this is a very hard stock to borrow, and I think people are waiting around to see what happens with this vote. You're going to get a lot of activity. You're going to see a lot of volume start to pick up and go into CCIV stock, or potentially leave CCIV stock. I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner, or your dad, so don't listen to anything that's said in this video or any other video, but anything is possible here. But like I said, from the numbers that we did did get reported today, from the proposals that actually did pass, we had an overwhelmingly high majority that actually approved the CCIV and Lucid Motors merger. So with all these given facts, I do think the short squeeze can go crazy here if the vote does go through, and I think it would likely start tomorrow. You might see a pop of 10 to even 20% if this vote does go through, but I would expect most of this action to actually happen next week if we were to see a short squeeze. Now let's switch gears and take a look at how the vote process is going with CCIV stock. So Churchill Capital said 97% of the votes cast were in favor of the proposed business combination. Approval of the final remaining proposal requires a majority of its outstanding shares, the company said. Approval of number 2, also known as the charter proposal, is required condition for the transaction to close. Churchill Capital said it believes the lack of submitted votes stems from the large number of new investors and new online trading platforms. So essentially with this proposal, you just need more votes than the other proposals that were on the ballot. But now to exactly what proposal number 2 is. This article does say that proposal number 2 on the proxy statement, the one relating to the adoption of the amended and restated certificate of incorporation, was not approved. Bear in mind that this proposal entailed a higher approval threshold. Consequently, the special meeting of the shareholders will reconvene on Friday, the 23rd of July, to try to secure the votes for this proposal. So there is 206 million outstanding shares that are floating around. About another 50 or so million are held by insiders at the current moment. But you guys got to keep in mind that this proposal, unlike the other ones, required more votes. So it required a majority. So a majority is over 50%. That means 103 million shares did have to be accounted for and voted for. And Michael Klein, the CEO and president of Churchill Capital, he did say that the main reason why they think they didn't get 103 million or more voted shares actually voting for this proposal on the ballot is because you see a lot of new Robinhood traders, Webull, other brokerages that aren't really in tune, or even quite frankly, some of them didn't even send out the emails to let you vote effectively. So that is what they are contributing to this. Obviously, with a 97% overall approval rate for the vote, I don't think there's any way this is not going to go through. And like I said, this will elevate us to an even higher level of potential expectations coming down, meaning if we exceed those expectations, the market makers that actually dictate the price will start to bid the stock up even more. I've seen this time and time again in about the 3.5 years I have been investing in the stock market. So this is pretty typical. This just made the situation a little bit more interesting and ultimately drew more eyeballs to what is going on with CCIV stock. Now, let's take a look at the actual option chain on CCIV stock. I do have AMC pulled up, so we will pull up CCIV right now. And let's see, obviously, unless we get a huge pop coming tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of contracts expiring out of the money. I wish this would load up, but we're going to see a lot of contracts that are expiring out the money unless we do get that big pop. If we can get to about $25, that is where we really have a strong likelihood of seeing a gamma squeeze. We have almost 11,000 contracts on this strike for the 25, and then we have about 4,200 even at the 24. So I think this could go pretty fast. The 26 has about 8,500. The 27 has 6,700, and the 30 has 14,752. So I think there's a good chance of actually seeing a gamma squeeze. Let's take a look at the next following week and see what that looks like. And this also looks very good as well. For the 2350, you're looking at 4,600. For the 25, you're looking at 5,100, and the 26, you're looking at 6,300. And then at the 30, 4,300, which is a little bit less, but we're not going to have to see as big of a move to actually see this gamma squeeze effect. But I think this is the most likely situation is actually next week. I've indicated that Thursday and Friday could be very important days and kick this off. But like I've said in all these videos, the majority of this should happen next week. Now let's take a look at my overall position. If you guys follow this channel, this is the exact same. I was very busy with court today, going for resentencing of the guy that did kill my brother. Long story short, he had 31 to 62.5 years at the high end, and the judge basically gave him 300 months as a minimum, which does come down to when you do the math on that, 300 divided by 12 is 25 years. So he has served about 5 years. So he is eligible for parole in 20 years. So nothing too crazy there. I appreciate all the prayers and love you guys have shown in the comment section. I do greatly appreciate that. But as well as the market value of this position in CCIV, that is $3,931.20. I'm currently up 1.13% or $43.88. My average cost in these shares is $23.14. Share number is 168. Portfolio diversity of 11.94%. And I still have the same calls and the same cash secured put. The put, I am obviously up $25 on this, or about 15%. Also, the $30 calls, I am down 40.48%, or down $136. So that is the big oucher. And I will say this just because I always say this: if you guys play options and you are up on a trade, feel free to take profits, unless you only put a small amount in like I do. But if you put a lot of money into your trades and you really need it to go up, or at least not come down, or you'll be losing a lot of money, feel free to take profits on this, because these contracts are only worth $100 right now, and at one point they were worth about $400, but I only had one, so I didn't feel a need of actually getting out of this, because I'm playing this for the actual short squeeze. So with that being said, guys, that is going to wrap up this video. That is everything you guys need to know. Make sure to drop that like on the video on your way out, as well as comment down below what is your position size in CCIV, and if you think a short squeeze is going to happen, as well as consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock, check out the link for public. No deposit necessary, no need to link bank out. You get your free stock in about 3 minutes time. Also, deposit $100 with Webull, get 4 free stocks, each of them potentially worth up to $2,400 a piece. So those are great brokerages. Check those links out if you have not already. Also, if you guys want to be notified in real time every time a trade is bought or sold in stocks, options, or crypto in real time, check that out for the buy and sell alerts. But with all that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you in the next video.